can you tell us about Armin Laschet?
Armin Laschet is the 59-year-old governor of North Rhine-Westphalia, which is Germany's most populous state. Lots of industry. It's almost like a mini Germany. It's got farmland. It's got industry. It's got big cities, small towns. It's got coal mines. It's got green industry. And he is seen as the continuity candidate. Angela Merkel refused to say who she wanted to see winning the post. However, her chief of staff suggested that Armin Laschet would be a pretty good guy. He represents continuity because he has a pro-European policy and wants closer relations with France, as Angela Merkel did. He was welcoming of the immigrants who came in to Germany as well in 2015, and he's also in favor of change to a more green economy. He's also a unity candidate. In his speech today when he was pitching for votes, he said, look at what happened at the U.S. Capitol. Do we want a country like that? We must beware of polarization that happens on your smartphones, the digital divides that we all create living in our information silos. We have to govern from the center. And in that, he's trying to wipe away the ideas that we need, the CDU needs to take votes from the Alternative for Germany, the anti-immigration party that's done relatively well here. And finally, I would say he's a candidate of trust. There was a touching moment at the end of his speech to the delegates where he held up the medal that his dad had as a minor, saying, I'm giving this to you because you're a man people can trust. So underlining his man of the people roots, a little bit like Helmut Kohl, if you cast your mind back. He's an easygoing, friendly premier, not the most, let's say, telegenic of figures, but he is the winner and now the leader of the Christian Democratic Union, filling very large shoes, those of Angela Merkel.
And Nick, he's filling large shoes as party leader after today's victory, but does this mean he will go on to fill Angela Merkel's shoes as Germany's Chancellor?
Well, the tradition is that you do, because you lead the party and then you become the head of the executive. And when you're the head of the executive, it's easier to get legislation passed because you basically own your party. You're the boss. But there have been instances in the past where that has not occurred, and it looks like that might well happen. And there are two reasons why. Two center-right politicians are more popular than any of the three who ran today. One of them is Jens Spahn, who is the health minister, 40 years old. He's openly gay, which is only significant because if he were to become chancellor, he would become Germany's first openly gay chancellor. And the other one is Markus Söder, who is the premier of Bavaria, who warned at the beginning of the pandemic, hey, we really got to take some really strict measures to fight this new coronavirus thing. Proved to be absolutely right. He has a folksy manner. He's very popular. Polls show that he would actually be the favored candidate for a center-right chancellor here in Germany. So there is a possibility that Armin Laschet, after a couple of months of seeing what opinion polls say about him as party leader, might say, Jens, it's up to you, or Markus Söder, we'd like to have you. Of course, there would be a whole party process to go there. But there's every possibility that Armin Laschet will not be the next chancellor, and we will just need a little more time to find out what the party decides and who they will pick to actually take on that role for the September elections.
Nick, thank you very much indeed. Nick Spicer there in Berlin.